I'm standing here on the back side of the place walking with my shotgun. You know, a lot of talk today about the Second Amendment rights. More talk about gun control. This is probably about year number 32 that they keep talking about controlling guns, registering guns, taxes on guns, taxes on ammo. And now with a clear-cut path, there are many in Washington who feel they have the Second Amendment rights down on the mat for the final count. And as I stand here looking at our place, I've been here 20 years. I've worked this land. I put horses and cows on it, built a barn, pay the taxes on it. We hunt out here. We shoot skeet out here. We've never harmed an individual, as most Americans who own guns have never harmed anyone, pointed at anyone, or shown any threat of all. So when we think about this thing called a right, that was a constitutional guarantee, our country accepted that. I do not see any clear path for any bureaucratic governments or even elected officials to say we are now going to change that, because there are small percentages or groups of people in the country who don't obey the law. We all know that common sense tells us if you take all the guns from all the people who obey laws, who pay taxes on guns, who help keep all of the preservation of our animals and the conservation of our land, you take that away from the mainstream America who loves the outdoors, you have nothing left but crooks with guns. Because of that, when we look at, even in our churches, most churches have people that are trained now to carry weapons because of what is going on in the country of going in and shooting up a church or a Walmart. It doesn't matter where they're shooting. That is wrong, and it must be stopped. And there are crazy people who are always going to do bad things. But when I look at the Second Amendment right, it's not about a political favor. It's not about a political ideology that says if we just take everybody's guns, we have no problem, because we'll have even a greater problem. Common sense goes on to say to us that this Second Amendment right is not up for sale. It's not up for vote. It's not up to a compromise about whether or not we can carry guns. That was settled about 240 years ago. And the politicians say, well, you don't need a 30-round clip, and I don't even own a 30-round clip. I don't have anything that would hold a 30-round clip, and not even interested in a 30-round clip. But a 30-round clip is not needed for deer hunting, and a 30-round clip, though, was not what the sporting people who use those clips and shooting and all are all about. So the argument is so tainted with mistruths and half-truths and lies that it's hard to see where to go. I do know this. Conservative America have been pushed just about as far as they're going to be pushed without meeting with legislators and helping them to come back to a common sense approach, that America is not ready for such a drastic move. I would urge you to talk to your state representatives and your state senators about these rights that are inalienable. They are holding us together as a country, knowing that we have an opportunity that no other country in the world has, that freedom. I can walk on this place and carry a gun. I can call my neighbor and go squirrel hunt on his property without any fanfare, without having to be checked. When a nation begins to say, we're going to demand a higher tax, it's a compromise and it's a loss. They're saying, we know we can't get the guns, so we're going to make them so expensive you can't afford the guns. And practically, if you'll talk to the gun sales and the ammo sales, this law, this type of legislation is the best motivation for buying guns and storing up ammo that could ever be. So while I'm out on my property with a gun and I want to shoot it, I shoot it. Why? Because this is America, and we're safe, and we treat each other's property with great respect. This week out in Seattle, Washington, Antifa marched again. They pulled up big snowbanks and stopped ambulances from getting to a trouble spot. They were not arrested. They were not detained. The mayor just lets them run. If this type of government continues, those crooks, those enemies of our country will realize nothing is going to happen to them. They should have been rounded up, put in jail, and charged. And so when you talk to honest, hardworking Americans that we may come for your gun, I think you really need to look at how many people are toting guns in this country. This is not a threat. It's not a promise. It's not anything. It's just one American man standing on a property that he's loved for 20 plus years, shooting a shotgun and saying, I thank God for America because we can do things that we want to do without asking the government. We've about come to the place where they want us to ask them to do anything. And that has to stop as well. We've got to put legislators in place that can return freedom back to America. So while we look at this thing called the Second Amendment rights, what will happen next? If they win this and they take the guns, what's next? What will they say next? We're going to have to report every time we want to go hunting. We're going to have to register and all of that. We already do. We have hunting licenses. We obey the laws. We break the laws. We pay the penalty for that. So it's a moot argument. And when we talk about freedoms and a patriot's voice, when the Patriots called the Minutemen, when they carried those weapons, they had to be ready at a moment's notice to fight a vile and evil government. I'm not saying ours is vile and evil. I'm saying right now they are without any common sense, and they have lost sight of mainstream America, where we really are as a country. Go out and enjoy your gun this week. Go out and enjoy the sports and the outdoors, and thank God that you live in a country as free as America.